Hi everyone, it's Eliud, and here's this week's story. It's actually a folk tale that comes from the country of Kenya in Africa. And the title is The Tale of the Linani Beast. And here's my story. Once, there was a young man who fell madly in love with a beautiful girl. And every day he would go to her house and ask her to marry him. He would beg her to marry him. Now, she wouldn't say yes, and she wouldn't say no. She would say something like, I would love some fresh coconut water. Yes, fresh coconut water will be good just about this time. And the young man would say, you want coconut water? I'll get you coconut water. And he would run to the grove, climb a coconut tree, slice off a coconut, run to her house, slice off the top, and give it to her. Here, coconut water. The next day he would come back to the house and he would say, would you marry me, please? Now she wouldn't say yes and she wouldn't say no. She would say, well, fresh fish would be nice. I'm hungry for some fresh fish for supper today. You want fresh fish? I'll get you fresh fish. And the young man would race to the stream, spear a few fish, bring them back to her, and lay them before her. Anything that she would ask for, he would provide, but she would not agree to marry him. One day, he said to her, isn't there anything at all, that I can provide for you that you would agree to marry me? She got a faraway look in her eye and she said, well, there is one thing, but I don't think you can bring it. It's the tale of a Linani beast. I hear that they're so beautiful, they are so soft and silky. How famous I would be if I had a tale of a Linani beast. The young man gulped. The Linani beasts live deep in the forest, and they crunch human bones for supper. Yes, I know, but a man would have to be very brave to get me a tale of a Linani beast, so of course I would have to marry him. Well, the young man was inspired, and he decided to set off and find that tale for her. He went home and he sharpened his knife, and he set out into the forest. Now, the Linani beast lived in a grove in the middle of the forest. All day long they slept, but at dusk they got up and they went looking for bones to crush, preferably human bones. Now, they knew that the humans covered their tails, and they were trying to avoid having the humans sneak up on them, so they devised a very strange way of sleeping. While they were sleeping, they would open and close their eyes. And even when their eyes were open, they were soundly asleep anyway, and they would mutter under their breaths. When their eyes were closed, they would say, I'm asleep. When they were open, they would say, I'm awake. I'm asleep. I'm awake. I'm asleep. I'm awake. But all the time they were soundly asleep. Now the young man came upon the grove of the sleeping Linani. They were sleeping on heaps and mounds, and they appeared to be sound asleep. But as he approached, he noticed that they were opening and closing their eyes every few seconds. What am I going to do? I can't sneak up and cut off a tail. They wake up every few seconds. So, dismayed, he sat down to observe for a while. And he noticed that when they opened their eyes, they didn't look around. And when they said, I'm awake, they kept breathing deeply as if they were asleep. I think they're asleep all the time. I think they are, even when their eyes are open. So the young man needed to get that tail, so he took the risk. He approached the sleeping Linani. He stepped over the first one. I'm asleep, I'm awake. I'm asleep, I'm awake. I'm asleep, I'm awake. They didn't move. They are asleep. They are asleep. So he walked around looking for the most beautiful tail to bring home to his girlfriend. And there he saw it. It was the tail of the chief of the Linani. It was long and silky. And the young man took his knife. That knife was so sharp, he slashed off the tail. The Linani was sleeping so soundly he didn't even wake up. I'm asleep, I'm awake. I'm asleep, I'm awake. I'm asleep, ouch, I'm awake. The young man took the tail and he tiptoed away from the Linani and began to run back to the village. Now she will marry me. She will be mine tonight. But it was a long way back to the village. Soon night began to fall and the Linani began to wake up. Oh, wake up, Linani. Let's go find some bones to crush. Oh, the Linani began to yawn and wake up and stretch. Now, the beast that was lying next to the chief touched the ground and he felt something wet and sticky. It was the blood from the chief's tail. But, what's this? He began to laugh. The chief wet his bed! The chief wet his bed! The chief sat up and scowled. What? What is this? It's blood. Someone has cut off my tail. Only a human would do something like this. Whoever that man was, today he becomes my enemy. Oh, the Linani began to snuffle around the grove, and they saw the trail of blood leading into the jungle. The chief said, I go fetch my tail and I'll bring back dinner. Then he took some straw grass and tied it into a magic knot. And he waved that magic knot and he began to chant, You who cut off my tail, you who became my enemy today, no matter where you go, no matter where you hide, I will find you. Speak to me. And the young man running through the jungle couldn't help but respond. The magic knot made him do it. I who became your enemy today, I who became your enemy today, I cut off your tail, but I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it. The woman made me do it. And he ran. Now the chief stomped down the path. The young man ran and ran. Every now and then the chief would stop. He would wave the magic knot and he would say, You who became my enemy today, you who became my enemy today, no matter where you go, no matter where you hide, I will find you. Speak to me. And the magic knot would draw the young man's voice. I who became your enemy today, I who became your enemy today, I cut off your tail, but I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it. The woman made me do it. And he ran and he ran. Now he got to the village and he went to the girl's house and he gave her the tail. Here's the tail. Now will you marry me? She was impressed. How brave you must be. Of course I'll marry you. Then hide me, the Linani is after me. She put him under some mats. He could not be seen. Soon the chief of the Linani got to the village and he saw the houses. He must be in one of these. You who became my enemy today, you who became my enemy today, no matter where you go, no matter where you hide, I will find you. Speak to me. And again, the young man's voice was drawn from under the mats. I who became your enemy today, I who became your enemy today, I cut off your tail, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. The woman made me do it. The chief found the house and walked right in, and there was the girl sitting down holding his tail. The young man was nowhere in sight. So again he chanted, You who became my enemy today, you who became my enemy today, no matter where you go, no matter where you hide, I will find you. Speak to me. The young man covered his mouth with both hands, but still his voice came out. I who became your enemy today, I who became your enemy today, I cut off your tail, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't mean to do it. And then he leaped from under the mats and he begged the Linani, no, the woman, it was the woman. The woman made me do it. And the chief looked at the girl. He said, the woman? The woman. The woman made you do it? And he snatched the tail and he said, but the man is responsible for his own actions. And with that, he took the young man, he threw him across his back, and he walked out of the house, out of the village, and into the jungle. That young man was never seen again. Now, in that village, they tell the young girls, if you love a young man, never ask him to do impossible things. Don't do that. And to the young man, they say, if you love a young girl, no matter what she says, no matter what she asks, remember, the man is responsible for his own actions. Now, that's my story. I hope you liked it. Please leave some comments below. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if you liked any part of the story. Don't forget to subscribe. Make that bell ring. Okay, and I will see you next time. Bye now.